All right, let's head out of the cold of Inmanera and up north to the Northern Territory. And the Speaker of the Parliament, Kezia Purick, has been forced to resign from her position following the Territory's anti-corruption watchdog finding she was responsible for corrupt conduct and serious breaches of public trust.
A day after she was the subject of a damning report from the Independent Commission against Corruption, Northern Territory Speaker Kezia Purick fell on her sword.
I will be tendering my resignation as Speaker of the Legislative Assembly to the Administrator in light of the findings by Ken Fleming from ICAC.
The ICAC investigation followed a Sky News report back in November 2018 about the Speaker's office attempting to stifle two other MPs, Terry Mills and Robin Lambley, in their bid to establish a North Australia party. Ms Purick's executive assistant had contacted a Queensland businessman who had already registered the name, suggesting he object if Mr Mills tried to use it in the NT. Ms Purick had always denied involvement, but the ICAC found otherwise.
I wish to make it clear that I do not accept the findings in the report, and I believe that I have not been afforded natural justice or procedural fairness.
When Sky News sent a request to Ms Purick for comment on November 8, 2018, she failed to respond. Instead, according to the ICAC report, she sent a text message to another politician, identified only as AB, saying, "Matt Cunningham onto me doing research into Queensland re-question of name of party for Mills & Co. If you get asked, deny, deny, deny." The message helped the ICAC prove Ms Purick's knowledge of the plot. Now she's also been accused of misleading the Commission while under oath, an offence that could carry criminal charges. Terry Mills and Robin Lambley eventually called their new party Territory Alliance. Now there's another question they want answered.
Who is AB? Who was potentially colluding with the Speaker, the former Speaker, Kezia Purick, the member for Goyder, in this plot? I think that the person who is known and referred to in this report as AB needs to identify themselves right now, because it will be uncovered.
Chief Minister Michael Gunner, who installed Ms Purick as Speaker even though she sits as an independent, has sought to distance himself from the scandal.
We established the Office of the Independent Commissioner Against Corruption this term, a very important act by this government.
Although others believe the government's silence has been damning.
The day after one of the most alarming reports has been tabled in this parliament in the history of the Northern Territory. Nothing from the Chief Minister, nothing from the Attorney-General, nothing from the Treasurer or any other member of the Cabinet.
Matt Cunningham, Sky News, Darwin.
Sky News Northern Territory reporter Matt Cunningham joins me now. Matt, this is about as serious as it gets. These findings are damning. Where are we up to tonight?
Well, questions are still being asked, Peter, about who exactly this mystery person AB is. That was one of the things that came out today. We did see the Speaker, Kezia Purick, resign from her role as Speaker. She says she intends, though, to stay in the Parliament and will contest her seat of Goyder at the upcoming election. But there are all sorts of implications all over the place here. There are implications for the Labor Party, the Labor government, who have stood by Kezia Purick. In fact, we know now that this issue was raised when we first reported that story back in November 2018. It was raised in the Labor caucus. The Labor caucus at the time tried to get rid, or there were people in the Labor caucus who tried to get rid of Kezia Purick at the time as the Speaker, but it was the Chief Minister, Michael Gunner, who stood by her. There have been allegations made of secret deals between Michael Gunner and Kezia Purick that date right back to when Labor was in opposition. That's something that Labor has continuously denied. There's also questions being asked of the Country Liberal Party and what its involvement in all of this may have been, whether it had a role in trying to prevent Terry Mills, who's a former CLP Chief Minister, and Robin Lambley, who's his former deputy, of establishing this new Northern Australia party in the Northern Territory. So for now, the Speaker has resigned, Peter, but there are plenty more questions that are still being asked after that damning report was handed down by the ICAC Commissioner.
I want to ask you about Terry Mills, and I just reiterate what you said there. He's a former leader of the CLP. He's now the leader of this new Territory Alliance party. He's been very vocal today. I think I've got some comments from Terry Mills.
It was the Chief Minister who has defended her from the very beginning, even though when members of his own caucus were distressed by her behaviour as Speaker and sought to have her replaced, he defended her. Her position is now indefensible.
He's one of the best politicians you got up there in the north. Your election's 2 months away, 22nd of August. What sort of impact will this have on Michael Gunner's campaign?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. I think the way it could play into the hands of Territory Alliance is that basically this is just another scandal in the Northern Territory Parliament, Peter. And the Northern Territory Parliament has had plenty of scandals over the past 8 years. There were 4 years of CLP government that was rocked by scandal after scandal. Labor took power in 2016. At the time, they promised to end the chaos and dysfunction that we'd seen over the previous 4 years. Well, there's been plenty of chaos and dysfunction since. They had 3 of their own MLAs who were kicked out of the Labor caucus after they tried to blow the whistle on the government's financial mismanagement and the state of the ballooning debt and the deficit here in the Northern Territory. We've also had questions raised about the trust issues with the Northern Territory government. There's been issues with favours that have been alleged to have been done for Labor's biggest donor that has really boiled away under the surface for some time. So I think this whole episode has the ability to cover both sides, both Labor and the CLP, in the mess, and the winner from that will be Territory Alliance. Interesting today, though, that Territory Alliance announced that they would ban fracking if they won power, and that's something that is certainly going to annoy the Conservatives who support Terry Mills.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt Cunningham. We will stay across it. You're onto it early, you're still onto it tonight. Thank you very much for your time.